This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
We can't catch up with Tye Richardson, though. He is behind enemy lines. And really, the only question that matters right now, Tye, is did you or did you not shave your head? Because the way you've been pulling this off is not working.
We got to mix up the juju. And unlike Matt Jones, I go on the road and fail. Matt, in 2003, went on the road and got this thing done. So I need some Matt Jones juju from all those years ago, 20 years ago, Matt. Last time that Arkansas actually won a game at Tuscaloosa.
Man, there was a lot of good players on the field. George Wilson, Sean Andrews, Jason Peters. Man, there was a lot of good talent on that field. That's for sure.
How about your boy Dow Loggins catching that high snap and Balsero's still putting it down? I mean, people forget about that play. If he bobbles that snap, we're heading to another overtime.
You know, Dow has the best passing completion percentage of any Razorback quarterback in the history of Arkansas football, and he's a guy that showed up and he did it. He did his job right, man. That was big time. He had to do it again. Tye, LSU when the Miracle on Markham, and that one got pushed back a little bit. You know, you had a longer field goal that one too, because that one was a longer extra point as well.
That's a good point.
You're saying you need the Matt Jones juju, Tye. I mean, forget about what he did on the field. He doesn't have any hair either. Okay, so if you're going with that, if you're going in that direction, if you really want to go the Matt Jones juju and you think that can help, well, it's right there in front of you, my friend. You believe in your hair so much, but it's not leading to Razorback wins. If you really want to shake something up,
don't do it, Tye.
Yeah, shake up an 8-ball, one of those magic 8-balls. Ask it a question: should I shave my head? And whatever it tells you to do it. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on the 8-ball.
Well, I mean, you think about the best broadcasters in our state: Phil Elson, Chuck Barrett, Randy. I mean, all those guys have something in common. So maybe there is something to that. But I am scared. Matt told me it's like when he got his hair shaved, I think as a rookie. I think you were telling me Matt never grew back. That
never grew back.
Guys, I'm not exactly. I wouldn't qualify myself as a great-looking dude. The hair's kind of what I'm holding on to, and if that goes, it's all downhill from here.
All right. So where are you on the drive now, and where were you when you left this morning?
So I just got to Tuscaloosa, and again we're behind me a lot. I haven't got a roll tide yet. I'm waiting. How many? I'm
what is it? Is that a 9-hour drive?
It's about 8 from the River Valley. Stopped in Memphis. Actually, funny enough, heard you talk about Tupelo. 8 in Tupelo, Mississippi. Tanner, one of our listeners, recommended me a place that was fantastic. It was a Southern buffet that was phenomenal. I had chicken spaghetti, fried okra, mashed potatoes, chicken strips, hamburger steak, cornbread. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't fall asleep getting to Tuscaloosa.
Well, I'm glad you didn't, too. You realize chicken spaghetti is, I mean, you could just throw chicken into mac and cheese. In some cases, it's the same thing. I'll still never understand your disavowal of mac and cheese. Man. Yeah. So what
there was mac and cheese there, Phil, and I ignored it. I can't do it for whatever reason.
It's that watered down cheese they use, right? Like you don't want that. You got to have some real cheese, some real milk. You got to be some real mac and cheese.
You got to go with the craft direction at least first. Like, and we can all admit that even if you want to make fun of it at 99 cents a box, it still bangs. It's still really good.
Fair enough.
It should change Ty's mind. Where are you going tomorrow? That's the more important thing, because I know you're not doing a show. If Tye Richardson's on the road, he's finding a way to get a free breakfast by doing a radio show there.
So it's down to 3 spots. It's either going to be this place called Brick and Spoon, T-Town Cafe, and there's one more, Wayside, I think is the other one. So I haven't fully figured that out yet.
You've been to Tuscaloosa for a game yet, or is this your first time?
First time. This is going to be an experience. I'm excited for this weekend.
You know, one of the things that I 2 years ago, and we were there for the game. I didn't realize this until just wanted to walk around a little bit. If you get a chance, Tye, you got to take a look at. You probably can't get inside, but you might be able to walk by the visitors' locker room near the entrance to the field at the tunnel. Is called the fail room. because it was donated by the money that was donated for the locker room, for the visitors' locker room, was donated by a gentleman whose last name is Fail, Fail. They don't do, what is it? Does Iowa have the opponent dress in a pink locker room or something? It's stupid. But the Fail room, I mean, they got the psychology working as soon as you walk in the locker room, man.
Golly. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that you've not won a single game against Nick Saban while he's been in Tuscaloosa. I mean, everything about that experience is awful. Seems like when you go down to Bryant-Denny Stadium. But Tommy made I thought, a solid point this morning that he wasn't insinuating it was going to happen this year, but Arkansas is going to win this game when no one expects it to happen. And, I mean, you think about some great teams that Arkansas has trotted out on the field against Alabama that have come up just short. And maybe I'm looking at this positive, like glass half full, but maybe this is the team that needs it, because Alabama's looking ahead to next week. They don't care about Arkansas. They just got an emotional win last week. They don't care one bit about the team that's walking on Saturday. Homecoming or not, they're looking ahead to next week to get revenge on Tennessee.
Ty, when I look at this offense and a guy, Ty Washington, who had a big game, he's been making flashes over the screen every time he gets an opportunity. Who else do you think could be a breakout star this game, or who could get some of those explosive plays this game?
It's so crazy how the tight end has changed, man. I mean, think about who you were throwing to back in the day, Jason Peters, his body type, and now look at Ty Washington, who's just kind of a thicker receiver, played a little bit of that in high school. I mean, we saw some flashes from Rashad Devinian 2 games ago that you really liked at this point. Wasn't as much as an impact this last game. He's always a guy as a young sophomore that can break out. Don't know about Jalen Braxton's status. He was walking out to the locker room in Oxford. I mean, he's a young player, just that you would say him, but don't know if he's going to play or not at this game at this point in time. Maybe it's an incomer like Tesla who's kind of disappeared the first couple SEC games, and I wouldn't necessarily classify him as an underclassman, but you look at just kind of what he could be for KJ Jefferson as someone that he can be relying on throwing the football. Maybe he's a guy that can break out if he can get off some press coverage, which he's going to see on Saturday.
I'd like to see a 100-yard rusher. I know it's just a little thing, and it doesn't mean you're going to win, but, man, how long is it going to be until we get this ground game going?
Matt, I'm with you, man. And the thing about this unit is at some point, I have to think at some point, like Chuck's been saying this week, they're going to put it together for one game. And you say, well, it's not going to be on Alabama because of that front, because of those linebackers and secondary. And there's probably some truth to that. But, I mean, if they even get a little bit of help, they haven't gotten any help from the ground game, and that helps the offense and Dan Enos and KJ and the Western wide receivers so much more in the passing game. And last 2 years, I mean, not in the first half last year, but Arkansas found success in the ground against these guys last year. 2 years ago, it was through the air with Burks, which you'd love to have on this year's team. It opens up this offense if they somehow figure it out. Maybe not on Saturday, but at some point this season.
Forget about all that, Ty. Forget about the idea of you got to improve in this area or that area or anything like that. Here's where they really need help from. They need help from the referees. And every visiting team that goes into Tuscaloosa can always count on help from the referees, can't they?
Yeah, man. I get so frustrated. The first year that you played Nick Saban, 2007, there was just an absolute atrocious pass interference called on like a 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 8 at the tail end of that ball game, and I lost my mind. I mean, you can't ever see you give the call there in Tuscaloosa. But like you said, Arkansas. Honestly, guys, and I know they had 10 penalties last week. You got help in Oxford. I mean, there was a missed face mask call. There was a late hit out of bounds. There were several things that I was just like, man, Arkansas got away with one there. I don't know if we're going to see it back-to-back weeks, especially in Tuscaloosa, Phil.
Yeah, I obviously you could hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't expect it anytime you go in there. And then you come home finally, Finally you get to come home. And I'm not, we're talking about the football team. We're talking about you too, man, because you've been traveling for this whole time as well. It's finally near the end of this of this gauntlet stretch. We knew it would be incredibly difficult. I think a lot of folks expected the program would go 0-4 on this 4-game stretch, but they also thought they would go into the stretch 3-0. And this, now you're past the halfway point. Now it's like the pressure really does start to sit on you. Like there's different kinds of pressure in college football. You got pressure, when you have certain sort of expectations to reach those expectations. Sooner or later, that pressure builds to, we got to find a way to 6. We got to find a way to a bowl game. You try not to look at it in that perspective, but I have a feeling it's a little difficult not to sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Phil, I know coaches say all the time, you got to take it one game at a time, you got to do this, do that. And there's truth. They're trying to preach that to their players, but guys are on social media. Guys are hearing what people say. And even in the offseason, we were talking about, man, this is the toughest stretch in college football. That's what Phil still, he ranked it. There was no tougher 4 games that any team in college football had to play against. And like you're saying, you finally get out of it after this week, and you play just a crummy Mississippi State team back in Fayetteville. It stinks that it's 11 a.m., but it is a game that you should win because you're at home, and that's why you have the advantage in that situation. Just to get back to Fayetteville after this stretch, like you're saying, Phil, it's instrumental for this. They got to, again, get back home, and they're finally going to get to. And the good thing is they're also getting home at a decent hour. Last week they got home at 3 a.m. This week they'll get home. The game will probably end about 2:30. They'll probably pack up by 4, and they'll be back home, I'd guess, by 6 o'clock, by dinner time on Saturday night. So that's a lot better than, again, the setup that you were in Oxford this past weekend.
Well, here's what you got to do the rest of the day, okay? This is the rest of your day. Or really, whenever you're done right now and you go check in wherever you're staying. Sally Beauty Supply, Ty. I don't know if you've ever walked into one of those stores before. They have all the things you would need to take all that hair off and not nick your cute little skull up at all. That'll be the place where you find a really good deal on a pair of clippers to take the hair down. You'll get a good razor and the right kind of oil to shave that head and no nicks. And can't wait to see what you look like when I see you at the stadium on Saturday, okay?
All right, I will at least contemplate it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you all that it's full out, that I'm all in on that, but I will at least contemplate the idea of shaving my head.
Sounds good.
Football team and winning Tuscaloosa.
Sounds good. That's Tye Richardson. You know what I heard in that answer there, Matt Jones? So you're saying there's a chance. I think there might be a little chance he's thinking about it.
If we can get to 6, I might shave my head as well. Maybe if we can. It doesn't hold the same, does it?
Get you to shave your face.
Oh,
that'd be a different
not.
story.
Yeah.
A whole different story. Might need Sally Beauty Supply on steroids for that.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.